Hi, I pray that the thoughts that I'm going to share could be valuable one way or another. The most common psalm, we could say, is Psalm 23. It starts by saying, "The Lord is my shepherd." Now, it's very extensive, so it may not be practical to go through the whole of it. But my focus is verse 4, which says that even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Now, very quickly, if you look at Psalm 23, the way it is structured, it looks like the shepherd is with the sheep in the fields. And that is where it's talking about feeding them and them having satisfaction and lying. And then as as it develops, they get to a valley moment. And looks like this is not something that is optional, something that they have to go through. Then finally, the psalm ends up in a table being set up. So it's almost like being out there in the field, then coming through a certain path and being at home or being settled on a dinner table. Very interesting imagery that I think you and I can learn from. But the irony is this, that these sheep have to walk from the field through a valley back home. And so this is the focus that I wanted to share from. Why? Because a bulk of what life feels like sometimes is like a valley. And several other words, alternative words, could be useful here, whether it is a desert or a jungle or wilderness. All these are unpleasant places. But just as the sheep and the shepherd, it would appear that this is somewhere that we have to go through. In the kind of life, in the seasons of life that we go through, there are valley moments. And the valley moments or the jungle moments or the wilderness moments could be in your personal relationships, could be in your financial, you're in debt, you're struggling to meet your obligations, could be in your relationships with your spouses, your children, your brothers and sisters, your parents. All these things that are supposed to be your source of energy then become a source of struggle. So all this, and that's just to name a few. Perhaps it's you attempting to gain clarity of your life mission and you're struggling. What's my life all about? Or you're working so hard in business and in the office, but you don't seem to be achieving much. All these things equate to the valley moments. What does the psalmist suggest that could be useful for you and I to adapt? One, he suggests that he walks through the valley. So he seems to suggest that you keep walking, you keep advancing, you keep going. Martin Luther King Jr. has said in a quote that if you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, don't stop moving. So one of the key lessons about life is to find out in those valley moments, what is that single step that I can take forward? It could be one conversation, it could be one decision, it could be building one more, calling one more client, it could be talking to one more person, and so on and so forth. But whatever it is, the first thing that we are being challenged in our moments of the jungle is to, or moments of the valley, is to keep walking forward. But in an attempt to do that, then the psalmist says something else. That, you know what? I will fear no evil, because these moments are fearful, because the Lord is with you. And the logic here is that this Lord who is with you knows the terrain. So there's somebody else, and irrespective of your persuasion, there's always a power that is greater than you, one that you is more able. And this is a shepherd with you. So God is with you. So it is possible to move forward. Why? Because there are others that have walked that path before. That must challenge you and I, therefore, to build our trust in God. No wonder it is said elsewhere that trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your understanding. In other words, your understanding, particularly of valley moments, will always be limited. It will always be stretched. But you know what? God, who understands much more, can be or will be your lead and guide. Then it goes on to say, right, that there is comfort, and this comfort is coming from the rod and the staff. And in that society, or that setup, the rod is used for protection and the staff is used for guidance. And so physically we may not be able to have that. It's perhaps then all that is put together in the Word of God. But more importantly, there are people around you that can be your source of guidance. There are people around you that can give you some counsel that protect you. They will tell you, don't go this path, go the other one. And so this is useful, dear friend, that yes, I want to advance, right? And I know God is with me, but sometimes I may feel a sense of distance, or I may not know the immediate steps. So what God has done is that he has brought people around you. Why? Because many times when we are faced with difficulty, we have the temptation to run away. We have the temptation to run away, to hide. And that reaction does not quite help. So remember that you have to keep going. Remember that God is with you. He has always been with you. And you need to come to that place of consciousness. But also, God has put people around you that you should associate with. But all this will only start if you are willing to admit that you're in trouble. You're willing to admit that you're in debt and take responsibility. For it could be the choices that you made, or it could be the culture or the environment where you find yourself in, or it could be that there are certain circumstances beyond you. But you have to acknowledge that you're in trouble. If you don't acknowledge, then chances are you will not ask for help. You will not want to depend on anyone, on anything, and there will be nothing to move towards. So I pray, dear friend, that, and perhaps you are not in any form of valley or any form of desert, then this information is useful. You can share with a friend that, you know what, dear friend, please acknowledge that you're in trouble, but know that God is with you, and get the right community to associate with. And by all means, don't stop. Keep moving. Thanks and God bless. Let's interact on the comment section. Kindly like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.